it's Julie. I'm doing a standing vlog today for a change. Today I want to talk about not finishing books, also known as DNF-ing, where DNF stands for did not finish. I generally have a hard time not finishing books or just sort of giving up on them. I often kind of feel a responsibility towards the author or the book to give it a real chance or actually to read the whole thing. So giving myself permission to just stop reading is quite hard. I do know that I don't actually have a responsibility to read the whole book, don't have a responsibility to the author or the book itself. But sometimes, I don't know if you do this, I treat books as if they have feelings, which is not a great thing since they're actually objects. Like, I'm not hurting the book if I don't finish it, or I'm not hurting it if I crack its spine. It's just a book. So to help me actually not read books that I don't like reading, I've come up with some rules for myself. I thought it would be fun to share those rules and hear if you have any similar rules. Most of these are just things I can tell myself to be okay with not finishing a book. Some of the things are things I've already said, like there is no shame in not finishing a book. You don't have a responsibility towards the author or the book to finish it. Number 3, if I'm not enjoying a book, I should just stop reading it. Number 4, if you don't want to pick the book up after an absence, just stop reading it. If you don't really care what's going to happen in the book, just stop reading. If you know what's going to happen and you don't care how, just stop reading. And this one is hard, but you don't have to read a book just because you like the author's other work. And finally, just let it go. It's okay to not finish books. It's okay to not finish loads of books. Life is too short to read books that are not for you. Your opinions on a book matter. You don't need validation for not finishing a book from a review or something else. So, chill out. Just read what you want to read. These were all things that I needed to hear, and I probably need to hear more. I used to give a book 100 pages to know whether I liked it or not, but now I don't really have a set limit like that. If the first couple of chapters are slow and I can tell that it's going to get better, then I'll keep reading. But if I really don't like it, then I won't. Or I'll try not to, at least. So with these rules in mind, there are certain books that I've decided I won't get back to, and certain books I DNF'd this summer, and that I've decided to get rid of. So now I'll do an unhaul of those books. The first book I'm going to unhaul this time is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I was very excited to read this when I bought it, but that's a couple of years ago, and I've changed. So I'm not really excited to read it anymore. I haven't even tried this book, I just don't fancy picking it up. So it's time for it to go. Next is More Than This by Patrick Ness. This falls into the category of not having to finish a book even though you've liked the author's other work. I've loved both The Rest of Us Just Live Here and The Monster Calls by the same author, but I think I've grown out of the style and I just don't fancy that experience. I decided I can read this from a library if I want to. The next book I'm unhauling is no surprise. This is The Wall Creeper by Nels Inc. I read it this summer and really didn't like it. I probably could have DNF'd this several times during the reading of this book, but I persevered and it all felt a little bit like a waste of time. The last one on my unhaul list is this one, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This one I also DNF'd, and after thinking about it, I realised I probably won't go back to this. And anyway, if I want to, there's copies at the library. Finally, I just want to discuss this book. I'm about 80-something pages in, and it feels very predictable. I don't know if I should continue reading this one, or if it would just be all too soppy for me, and I just don't like romance. Tell me down below if you've read this one, what you thought, and what do you think I should do about this? This book is in the category I put it down and I'm not sure whether I want to pick it up again. So that was everything I had to say about DNFing books as of now. Do you have any rules for DNFing books? Tell me down below if you have any, and I'll see you next time. Ha there!